Hi, I'm Steve from Steve3D, your indie development and game art channel. This is my Learning Blender tutorial series. This is a full course for learning Blender, teaching you everything you need to know. And the best thing is, it's totally free. In this video we will focus on some more important basic commands. We will practice navigation and movement commands that you've learned in your last video. We will add new objects and do some basic manipulations. You will also hear about modifiers, what are they and how to use them. A last thing before we start, if you find this video helpful, please like, subscribe and press the bell button to help me to grow this channel. This would really mean a lot to me. Now let's talk about the object of the day, a simple table. First, let's analyze the object itself. I created already one to show you how it should look. This is a very basic table. Low poly, it has a tabletop and 4 feet, all simple shapes, or in other words, the perfect object to start learning Blender. The first thing is removing everything, so you can press A to select everything, then press delete to remove everything. I will just move my table out of the way. Now we press Shift A, select Mesh, Cube to add a new cube. And here it is, our new default cube. Now let's explore the cube. We press 1 to change to front orthogonal view. Now you can see 50% of the cube is above the ground level and 50% is below it. On the right upper corner you can see the object menu. If you don't see it, press N to expand it. Here you can see the dimensions of our cube and you see it's 2 by 2 by 2 meters. When you create a new model, you should have a sense of size. This means you can create a model and scale it until it looks fine. When you later import the asset into another software like your game engine, the assets might have the wrong scale, like a flower as big as a house, a mouse as big as a horse, or a building as small as a butterfly. So they do not match in scale. If you have to fix this later, it's a lot of work. To prevent having this additional effort, you should be aware of it when creating your models. The size will never be perfect and you still have to tweak it here and there, but it's a big time saver later on. In the right upper corner in our object menu, I set the dimensions to 2 meter by 1 meter, and for the total height we go for 70 to 80 centimeters. And for the thickness I go, let's say 0.04 meter or 4 centimeters. On a closer look you see that the countertop is 50% below the floor. To move it up we press G for grab, then Z for the axis and 0.02 for the distance we want to move. Now you can see it's lying perfectly flat on the floor. But since we want it not on the floor but 75 centimeters above the floor, I press G again, Z again and then 0.75. Now the countertop is 75 centimeters above the ground and therefore it is done. So now let's have a look at it. Okay, looks good so far. Now let's move on to the feet. First we press Shift A, select Mesh and we go for a cylinder this time. Since we go for a low poly style, we open up the menu in the left lower corner and set the vertices to 8. For the radius we take, I don't want them too thick, so maybe we go for 0.03 centimeters to get a diameter of 6 centimeter. The depth of the cylinder is the height of our table, so we go for 0.75 meter. Then we press G for grab, Z for the axis, and we move it up a little bit, like so. Now we want to go to the top view, so on the numpad you can press 7 to switch to top view. Since we can't see our foot in the top view, we press Alt Z to make it transparent. We select the foot and then we press G for grab and move it to the left lower corner. Now we press numpad 1 to go to the front orthogonal view. Now we press R for rotate and Y for the Y-axis, and then we rotate it a tiny bit. Now we press numpad 3 to go to the right view, then R, X for the X-axis, and then we rotate it again. We press 7 for the top view, we check where our foot is, we press G for grab and move it a little bit more into the corner, like so. If we now take our first look, whoops, sorry. It seems okay, but I maybe like it. No, it's okay. What we can recognize here is because we rotated the foot, it's not staying flat on the floor anymore, so we have to change this. We can fix this in edit mode, so we select the foot, we press tab to go into edit mode, we select the bottom face, we press 1 to go into front view, we press R for rotate, Y for the Y-axis, we rotate it, we press 3 for right view, R for rotate, and X for the X-axis, and we rotate it as well. 1 for front view again. It's not touching the floor here, so I press G for grab, set, and I move it down until it touches the floor. If you are changing a face in edit mode, means you are changing the appearance of the object. Means if I press G for grab and I move it around, you see that I am changing how the foot looks like. We press tab to go back to object mode, and as you can see, we have a table with one foot. And this is where modifiers come in handy. Here in the object panel you can see a wrench icon, which is the modifiers tab, and here you can add new ones. Now, what are modifiers? They are a way to change your model in a non-destructible way. We press add, we search for mirror to add a mirror modifier, like so. Then we select the foot here, and we use the picker tool here to select the object we use for the mirroring, like so. And now you can see we have a second foot here. How does this work? So it's not directly a copy, but a modification that's calculated on the fly. So tab to go into edit mode, I select this foot here, G for grab, and you see whatever I do to this foot is also applied to the second foot, to my mirror object. Now what does indestructible mean? This means if I remove the modifier here, the foot is removed as well. So now I have to edit again. I choose the countertop. Now when you want to export your model, like into your game engine, modifiers are a problem because your game engine doesn't necessarily understand modifiers, so it doesn't know how to apply them, and this part is missing. For this we can press apply here, and now we made a permanent addition, so a destructible change to our model. I would suggest that you stick as long as possible to the modifiers and you apply them right before you export your model for using it in a game engine or whatever. Now, since we need another 2 feet, we go to the modifiers again. We say add, mirror, and I mean, you can just select Y here and it works, right? But for the sake of learning, we say add modifier, mirror, we select the y-axis here, we use the dropper to select the countertop again, so we did it. I used two modifiers here because I wanted you to see that they apply one after another, means the first one creates the second foot and the second one creates the other 2 feet. In our case, we can remove one of the modifiers and select the y-axis as well here. Now we have our table. It's done, so we can take a look at it, move it around a little bit. It's okay, but maybe you're not satisfied with how the feet look like. Maybe they are too small in diameter or something. So you can press S for scale, Shift Z for scaling everything but the Z axis, and then you can scale it a little bit bigger or smaller, how you want it. Because we have a mirror modifier, if you apply the changes to our 1 foot, all 4 feet will change. This means you don't have to change them one after the other. They're all done with one change. At this stage you could also apply the modifiers and then add scratch dents to your feet so you can modify every foot individually. An additional thing I want you to show is I select the countertop. I want to move the table out of the way, so I press G and I move it here, and you see strange things are gonna happen, right? This is because the mirror modifier uses our countertop for the mirroring process. As often, there are several ways to solve this issue. So, for example, you can select all the objects here and you can join them together, but this is something we don't want to do because we want to prevent destructible changes as long as possible. What we do instead, we select the foot here, then we hold down Shift and select the countertop. It's important that we select the parent object after we've selected all the other objects. The object having the lighter color will be your parent, so okay for us. We press now Ctrl P for parent, we select object, means we want to parent on the countertop here, so Ctrl P, object. This black line here shows you the connection to the parent. Moving the feet shows you that the mirrors still work, and if you grab the countertop you can move the table with the feet. Now I move it out of the way so we can compare it to our existing table and take a look at how they compare to each other. So let's make it visible again. Oh, sorry, seems I moved them right at the same position, so move the new table out of the way. Now I do have a small homework for you so that you can practice a little bit until the next video is released. So I want you to make some more table. So let's try and create a round table. And instead of creating 4 feet, create a big chunky center foot. So that's it for today. Now let's sum everything up. You have learned to add objects with Shift A and how to modify them. We also talked about dimensions, why it matters how you scale your objects. You learned what modifiers are and how they work and how you can use them. You also learned that you can parent object. We talked about why we did parenting instead of joining. You now know that you have to apply modifiers before you can export your assets. In addition to that, we practiced all commands we learned so far, like Shift A to add, scale, rotate, restricting your rotation to X, Y, or everything but Z, for example. In our next video, we will create a bowl and some gadget we can place on top of our table, and we will introduce some more handy commands you can use for this. So that's it for this video. If it was helpful, or if you don't want to miss out when I release new content, please hit like, subscribe, and press the bell button to stay informed and to help me to grow this channel. So let's meet in the next episode, where you will create your next 3D model. And don't forget to like and subscribe.